Hey y'all, this is Yun, and welcome back. Today, I want to take you on a brief little tour of the wonderful little town of Owings. Now, Owings is kind of special, and I call it a town in kind of an ironic sense, because Owings technically isn't, but pretty much is a ghost town. There is nothing here anymore. That's mainly because everything that Owings was absorbed into the town of Greycourt, which is about a mile up the road. So at this point, you just have a historic site, because this little town has been picked as a historic site. So it's not going anywhere, and you can still see the old flagpole in front of the depot. But this was once a depot station along the railroad, and has, for the last quite some time now, been effectively abandoned. So you have Depot Road here. You can see some of the old buildings. Now, people do live around here, and I made sure before walking through that I talked to one of the residents and made sure he knew I was here, that he didn't have a problem with me walking around. These buildings, because they are historic and people live nearby, are wired with cameras. So don't even think about doing anything bad here. Not that you should anyway. But you can see the vines overgrowing the little shed here. There are people who live here. Smile, you're on camera. You can see the old buildings, some furniture in there. Some of the windows are unfortunately broken. But this little town, there is a church complex in the middle of it, which I'm pretty sure is where the gentleman that I talked to came from. And there's more of the old depot. It's a beautiful little town. This community's been here for a while, and like many things around here, it was built up around the railroad that ran through. The railroad runs right through Greenville and down to Laurens, and we're a little way past midpoint towards Laurens. Fountain Inn is actually the midpoint, which is why Fountain Inn is there. And then we have Owings Depot here, and you can see the old containers for stuff. I mean, it's beautiful. Yes, it's old, but it has its own form of beauty. You can see the forms of the stuff in the old depot. I'm not going to take these little stairs here next to me because they're kind of old and worn down, so that's a risk for me. But you can see like a feed and seed shop, some various other shops that were around here. You can see the way that some of them were modernized a little bit. There's an air conditioner on that one. Some of them are still just wooden. You have motion sensors and floodlights, though, to make sure that nobody's coming here when they shouldn't be. You can see some of the debris from time built up along here. Beautiful little buildings, a lot of wood, and you got some metal, some brick. So that late 1800s, early 20th century construction on these. And again, I mean, we walked through that entire house on our last session, and that took us about 9 minutes to go through everything. As you can see here, we're about to walk through the entire little depot town, and there won't be much here. Now, if you look carefully, you'll see there's lots of traffic here. And that's because right next to the railroad is Highway 14, which runs directly between Greenville and Laurens. And it carries most of the traffic now that you would have seen otherwise going along the railroad. The railroad is still active, and it's definitely active around here because there's a lot of industrial things here. A lot of the old mills themselves closed, and there's a old church building that was part of Owings here. A lot of the old mills, yeah, see, Better Service Milling Company. A lot of the old mills themselves closed down. Well, you can see the some of the stuff from old pumps here and electrical systems have been cleaned out. But all the old mills here closed down, and instead other industry came and took their place. So there's some pretty heavy industry along here. I like the look at this building here. You can hear the siding moving a little bit, see some of the old machines that were part of it. It's an old tractor. Road clearing equipment that looks like it's still current. And more of the vines conquering everything. I do have to watch my step here so I don't... Oh, beautiful flowers. I have to watch my step to make sure I don't run into any fire ant hills. And then you can see some of the old boxes there for powering everything. So again, before I came here, I did try and make sure that there were no legal impediments to me doing so. I went down to the closest town, which again is Gray Court. Gray Court is just up the road a little bit, and that's everything from Owings shut down and went there. So City Hall, all of that, post office, it's all located in Gray Court. And there's population all around here. I mean, there's houses all around, but Owings itself is just gone. But Gray Court, I went down to see if they had a police station so I could talk to the police officers there and make sure everything was good. But they don't even have a police station because they're kind of small. So yeah, everything here is under the jurisdiction of Laurens County or under the Highway Patrol, because Highway Patrol watches Highway 14. But yeah, this is a nice little town here. I'm going to do some photography here in just a minute after I get done taking the video, just of some of these old structures and things, because again, I see a beauty to them. And there's the railroad tracks right there, and the old station. So, if anyone decides to actually watch these, which I don't know at all, my number of subscribers is incredibly low. If you have any questions for me, about me, or what I like to do, or if you're from the area and you know of any other places that might be interesting to visit, by all means, let me know. I am always open to opportunities. Obviously, that will increase once we are no longer dealing with this present quarantine situation. But yeah, I would appreciate having an opportunity to look up more places and take more videos. So I hope everyone has a great day. This is John signing off.
If you've made it to this point, I want to give you some bonus material. I did go and take those photos, as I mentioned, at the end of the video recording. This is the Gray Court Owings School, and it was built originally in 1914, though the sign out in front will tell you the school was established in 1902. This building is next to it, was built in 1928. I very much like the distinctive style that these buildings have with the columns in front. These buildings to the other side were also built in 1928. The school itself is beautiful, and it sits right by the side of Highway 14, so I've always wanted to stop and visit it. The difficulty is that under the current circumstances, you really can't go in it. Not that you really can most of the time anyway, but everything's closed up, so I was just able to go out front. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. It means a lot to me that you were willing to do so. If you're interested in the topics that I'm covering, I'd more than love to hear about other locations that I can visit and other things that I can do. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I really appreciate it.